Yo, what's going on, guys? EK9 here, bringing you guys another video. Today is a new day, so that means it's time for another State of the NHL, and today we will look at the Buffalo Sabres. So as you guys can see, the Sabres do have Jeff Skinner, Jack Eichel, Sammy Reinhart. They've got Dominic Cahoon, Marcus Johansson, Victor Olofsson, Jimmy Vesey, Curtis Lazar, Wayne Simmons, and then on their fourth line, they got Kyle Okposo, Johan Larsson, and Zemgus Girgensons. On the defensive end, they've got Rasmus Dahlin with Colin Miller. They've got Rasmus Ristolainen with Brandon Montour and Jake McCabe with Henry Jokiharju. In their goalies look like Linus Allmark and Carter Hutton. So this is a different type of team to look at today. This is going to be a much different type of video compared to what the other teams look like, because the Buffalo Sabres are, I don't want to say in a dumpster fire, but they're pretty much there. They have some injuries. Also, they've got Matt Hunwick's injured, Vladimir Sabodka's injured, Tage Thompson's injured, and Lawrence Palit. They only have 856,000 cap space. So for their team, it looks like it's a little high. I don't know how they're going to go about it this year, especially with they have a lot of contracts expiring. They've got Vladimir Sabodka, Matt Hunwick, Tage Thompson, Linus Ullmark, Lawrence Palit. They also got Brandon Montour, Curtis Lazar, Victor Olofsson, Dominic Cahoon, Johan Larsson, Zemgus Girgensons, Jimmy Vesey, Sammy Reinhart, Michael Frolik, and Wayne Simmons. I was not kidding you guys when I said this team has a lot of contracts that are expiring. I'm expecting that the next year's team looks quite different from the one that they currently have now. And I think that it's going to be time to maybe look to some prospects. And I think that they're going to have to really make a move on free agency. They have some top prospects in Dylan Cousins. They've got Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, phenomenal goalie by the way, Victor Olofsson, and then they've got two defensive prospects in Matthias Samuelsson and Ryan Johnson. They may be talked about a little bit more near the end of the video when we do talk about the pros and cons of the Sabres roster. So their record this year were 31 and 8 for 68 points. I think that a lot of people expected the Sabres to do much better than this. They kind of let down some of their fans. They started off the season pretty well, and then just they've done that the last few seasons, and then they just geared down right near the towards the ending of it. So as I said, the Sabres do have a lot of contracts that are expiring, and the fact that they failed to secure another playoff spot, I think that the management's gonna probably make some moves and look to rebuild and move forward from their current structure. I think it's very hard to pinpoint exactly the heirs of this team and how they should move forward. I think they're going to have to start from scratch. I think there's going to be a lot of players that don't see a return or don't get re-signed, and that's going to indicate that they're entering either rebuild mode, because they do have a lot of contracts expiring, but they could also still remain a hopeful team. So the Sabres have a really strong first line when they got Eichel, Reinhart, and Skinner, but the rest of the team's basically mediocre, and that's what the Sabres have been for the last few years. It's just a mediocre team. They haven't been a terrible, terrible team, but they haven't been a good one either. I think that what the Sabres should do, you guys can argue with me with this, but I think they should possibly look at investing in another defenseman. I think they should go for another left-handed defenseman, one that can play on that second line to fill in the void of Brandon Montour. Montour, not to discredit him, but they are running four righties on their team. Should look for maybe a left-hand shot, maybe hit the free agency and try and pick one of those up, and then build their depth on the defensive end, because that's where they seem to lack quite a bit. They got a lot of young talent up front. They're pretty speedy, so I wouldn't look to maybe changing too much of that. But I also think that they should also look at bringing up a couple prospects and put them into some minor scoring roles, like the third, fourth line. Maybe look at bringing up Middlestat. There's a couple of prospects that could probably crack the lineup for the Sabres as well this year. And I think that they shouldn't invest time investing in forwards. I think this team can put pucks in the net. They've proven it. Jack Eichel's a proven goal scorer. I know that they need more offense than just him, but they also got Olofsson. They've got some decent players. They've got a decent top six. I think this team needs to look more to the defensive end and away from the offensive end if they're going to make any progress at maybe making the playoffs anytime soon. And I think that maybe they should. Maybe it's if Montour they don't explore the free agency too much. Maybe try testing out those defensive prospects that I mentioned in Samuelson and Johnson. But I doubt that they're going to do that. And this could be the year that we see Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen crack the lineup. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a possibility considering that Allmark's contract is expiring at the end of this year. So I think this team's very hard to pinpoint. There's a lot of things that they could do that can make this team a really good team, and there's a lot that they could do to make this team a really bad team in the span of a few months. So I think it's going to be really tough to see how this team goes, what they do, and how the management thinks about this. So my projection could be way off. It's really hard to make an accurate projection with a team that's got so many contracts expiring. They're strapped on cap, and I don't see them being able to do too much. But I think that they're gonna look at maybe some defense to really bolster that defensive core and really help out the goalies, because the goalies had to stand on their head quite a few times this year, especially Carter Hutton in a few of his games I've watched. He played phenomenal. So I project this team going 30 wins, 41 losses, and 9 overtime losses for a total of 69 points, one more point than they had in this shortened season. So in the grand scheme of things, they're actually declining. Let me know your guys' thoughts. You guys think Buffalo's a good team? You think they're going to really prove us all wrong next season? Are they going to be, worse than they were this year? Let me know. I just think it's going to be really tough with all those contracts expiring to really make some type of move where they're able to really bolster their lineup. Anyways, guys, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. We just hit 350 subs, guys. You guys are honestly the best. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, just subscribe for some awesome content coming up. You guys are going to miss out if you don't. Alright, see you guys soon.